Welcome back to Split the Party. I'm your host, Steve Osmond. I have with me Jeremy Hallock and Steve King. Today we're talking about Magic the Gathering, specifically the changes in format for their tournament blocks and also for the set drops, and then a little bit of a preview for the new set Fate Reforged that's going to be coming out. Now, Jeremy, you are a judge at Excelsior Games and Comics in Greenville.
Yep.
What are the changes that we're seeing in tournament formats right now?
So for Friday Night Magic, before you could only sanction certain formats for the tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are able to sanction pretty much anything. Standard, Modern, Legacy, Commander, even you can make your own format. And you can sanction that.
That's the part that I'm excited about because we've played Two-Headed Giant for a long time together, and it's something we've always enjoyed. We played Star, where everybody has a monocolored deck, but those are things you couldn't sanction. Now we could actually set up tournaments that way, and they could be sanctioned for Friday Night Magic. With that, that's really exciting news to me. I've always been mostly a casual player, but it's really exciting because a lot of the casual formats that I've used, I could actually compete in tournaments with them now. But it seems like it's going to be making things more complicated for them. With the formats that they've already got with Modern and Standard and Legacy, they have banned lists of cards that they keep track of. Now, are we going to end up seeing a number of banned lists that they're going to have to keep track of for every format that comes up?
No, I don't think so. Largely, a lot of the formats are kind of kept fair by the players. Every once in a while, Wizards will release a banned list for, say, Pauper. But there are outside committees that deal with rules for Commander. I think we'll see more of that.
Yeah. Well, and Commander, for instance, that was created by us, by the fans. We created it, and Magic, the Wizards of the Coast glommed right onto it, and they adopted it, which is awesome. That's part of their business model. They've always really been loyal to the fan base and taking into account what the fans want to play and what the fans want to do. But the changes in set drops. Now, what exactly are they changing?
Well, right now they've got 3 sets per block, and there's always a big set, a small set, and then a fixer set is how I feel about it, making the rest of the block fit together. And here's the mechanics that you like. Well, they're dropping that. There's going to be just 2 of them now. There's going to be the first big set and then a smaller set that complements it, and then they just go to a whole new block. And also they're taking the core set and just dropping it all together. M16 will be the last core set that we ever see. Well, technically we ever see.
Yeah. Well, they've kind of lost interest in the core sets. They're not part of the storyline. They're not flavored the way each of the separate blocks are. And they tend to just be a rehashing of previous cards and previous mechanics. There's nothing new brought to the table. It was really just, here are more cards too. Here's something else, please spend money on this. And they've not seen a lot of return on that. So I think it makes sense for them to get rid of that. I'm also excited about the fact that they're changing to a 2-block format. It's going to keep them to a higher standard.
Yep.
They're not going to have that repair set at the end. So they're going to have to make sure we're putting out 2 sets that got to be quality.
Yeah, we'll be getting an extra block every year too. And then when the first set of the new block hits in the spring and the fall, it'll be the reset for standard, where you drop sets.
Yep, rotations twice per year instead of just once.
And so that was another thing I was saying earlier, that it seemed that they may be complicating things with all the different tournament formats. So again, with this, it seems like they may be causing more complication. Now they're having to handle everything that goes with turning over what sets are legal, what cards are legal, what cards are banned. Everything that they do, they have to do it twice as often in a year as they did before. Because they're switching those sets out twice as often now. It's not like they don't have the manpower and the money to do it, but they're definitely making more money. Yeah. I'm not worried about it because I don't have to do it. I don't have to do the work. Right. But somebody sitting behind the desk is doing work twice as much as he was.
They obviously think they can make more money this way, otherwise they wouldn't even attempt it.
Well, they've been printing money for long enough at this point.
They pretty much are.
I think they probably got it right. So Fate Reforged, the new set that's coming up. I've only looked at it a little bit, and I'm excited about it. One thing that really stands out, they don't normally, in the middle of a block, they don't normally introduce 3 brand new mechanics. Normally, each set in a block will have a new mechanic or something that really sticks out, but this one's bringing 3 brand new mechanics into the game, and they're awesome. So we've got, it's Manifest, Bolster, and Dash, correct?
Yep.
Are the 3, so what exactly are we looking at here?
So Dash is an ability printed on the cards. It is an alternate way to cast them. Instead of casting them for their usual mana cost, you can pay their dash cost. That creature will enter the battlefield, gain haste. You can swing it with it that turn, and then it jumps right back into your hand.
which
at
is
the end of
awesome.
the turn.
So you know you've always got an ace in the hole. Unless they've got something that they can do to your hand, they can board wipe, take everything away. I still got this guy because
Yep.
he came back.
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic. And I know you're going to abuse that.
That's I am.
Yeah. So manifest then.
Manifest is, there's different ways it triggers. Sometimes when it comes into play, it triggers. Sometimes they're just instant sorceries that do it. You take the top card of your library and you put it on the field face down, and now it's a morphed creature. It's a 2/2 creature. And with the manifest, maybe it's a creature. Once it's on the field, you can turn it over and see what you've put there, but until it comes off the top of your library, you don't know what it is. If it's a creature, you can morph it for its actual casting cost, and now you have that creature on the field. If it's an instant, sorcery, land, planeswalker,
You just lost it.
it's
Yeah.
just
It's
face
gone.
down, and there's no way to get it back unless.
But when you're using manifest, you're going to build your deck around that. It's going to be real creature heavy, and you're going to also be making sure you got a lot of mechanics in there to see what's coming up and what's on top in your deck. So you're not going to have to
Yeah.
worry about losing as much. You're going to be in control of that. Magic players know how to do that. So the one that I'm most excited about, Bolster. I like playing elves. They're little guys. So when Bolster comes out, correct me if I'm wrong, it'll have Bolster 1, 2, 3, whatever. When it triggers, your smallest creature, your weakest power and toughness creature, gets a +1/+1
Yep, it goes by toughness, but yeah.
for each. It goes by toughness. All right,
Yep.
and that was going to be my question. So your weakest toughness creature will get a +1/+1 for every point of Bolster. So if it's Bolster 3, he'll get a +3/+3.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Again, because like I said, I like to play elves, and I send all my little weenie elves out there, and they get pumped full of steroids and go out there and start crushing people. And it sounds awesome, and they're going to be really cheap. I'm really looking forward to that. I've seen some of the cards. The ones I've seen so far have been expensive. We've seen some more expensive ones.
There are a few cheap ones.
But there are
Yeah.
there are some cheap ones, and like I said, I think that's the mechanic that I'm going to probably be trying to ride on the most. So what do you think of the set altogether? Are you excited about it?
I really like it. I think it brings a lot to the table. It gives existing decks in the standard format new tools. It brings forward new standard decks that haven't had a chance to shine. And it also has some really good commander stuff.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's exciting.
That's
Yeah.
one thing that I was going to say. Commander is really the only tournament format that I take a lot of part in, and I feel like they built this set for me. There are a lot of things in here that I'm really excited about. I was looking for the current decks that I've got, and now starting to think about the new decks I'm going to be building because of this set. So it is really exciting.
Yeah.
And the format changes, the tournament format. What do you think?
Good for the most part. There will probably be some problems that come along with it. But they know what they're doing. I'm sure they'll handle it in a way that makes it good for stores.
Yeah. And they've, like I said earlier, they've always been loyal to their fan base. So if
Yeah.
problems start coming up and the fans are not having fun doing this, or the fans are having a problem with it, they're going to fix it.
Yep.
That's
Right.
what they do. Unfortunately, because of their fan base and the size of it, they have to do a lot of reactive repairs. You know, they have to, oh, that didn't work, let's try this. But they always do it. They always come through for the players. The set format changes. What do you think, Steve?
I think it's real good. I think you're going to take the sets that are, for them, not making as much money because no one's paying attention to them, and those are gone. And all we're going to get is the stuff everyone wants. Oh, it's new hotness. I'm going to buy all of these. So
Yep.
I think it's great.
Excellent. Well, I agree. I'm excited to see them take out the third set, make it so the blocks themselves are going to be a little bit more fast and furious. We're going to be still getting the quality of cards, but we're getting them more often, which is really exciting. The tournament format is fantastic. I can't wait to try and put together some tournaments in some of the formats that I like to play, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Fate Reforged come out. Guys, thanks for coming in. We will see you next week. Let us know if you have any opinions one way or the other on Fate Reforged or any of the new tournament sets. We'll see you in a week.